What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Picture this. You wake up one morning, look out the window, and something feels different. At first, you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe it's a little too quiet. Or maybe it's the fact that your neighbor's car is still spinning down the street like a wild frisbee. You check your phone, no internet, no power, and as you rub your eyes, a realization hits. The Earth has stopped spinning. Sounds wild, right? But let's break down what might actually happen, step by step. And trust me, it's not a pretty picture. First, let's talk speed. Right now, as you sit and read this, the ground beneath you is moving at an astonishing speed. At the equator, Earth's rotation reaches around 1,670 kilometers per hour, about 1,037 miles per hour. That's faster than most planes and almost double the speed of sound. But because everything around us moves at the same speed, we don't even notice it. So, if Earth stopped suddenly like a cosmic break, some things would go flying. Imagine a world where every tree, car, house, and, yes, you, is suddenly ejected forward at breakneck speeds. Hold on tight. The first thing you'd feel is a massive jolt, as everything not firmly attached to the ground hurtles eastward. Anything not anchored, cars, furniture, and probably most of us would get flung for kilometers. Think of it like a scene from an action movie, but with no stunt doubles or safety harnesses. In fact, it's likely we'd be thrown so hard that, unfortunately, survival would be slim. And if you happen to live near a body of water, brace yourself for an even bigger shock. The oceans go rogue. Right now, Earth's rotation helps keep oceans neatly in their basins, but with a sudden stop, they wouldn't have to play nice anymore. Imagine every drop of water on the planet joining this momentum. Tsunamis, thousands of meters high, would roll over entire continents, taking coastal cities and everything else in their path. Beaches, gone. Coastal towns, history. And we're not just talking about one big wave here. Without the stabilizing force of the rotation, the water would surge toward the poles, seeking to balance the new forces at play. Essentially, there'd be two massive oceans around the north and south poles, while the equator would turn into a vast, barren desert. Let's just say beachfront property prices would drop drastically. Gravity's slightly awkward shift. Now, here's a common question. Would gravity change if Earth stopped spinning? The short answer is, technically, no, gravity itself wouldn't change. But right now, the rotation creates a centrifugal force that counteracts gravity just a little, making us feel lighter, especially at the equator. Without that rotation, this effect would disappear, and people at the equator would feel about 0.3% heavier. While this might not be enough to make you feel drastically heavier, athletes might notice a difference. Olympic records would be shattered, but in the wrong direction. Day and night get weird. Next up, the sun's routine. If Earth no longer spins, one side of the planet would be locked in eternal day, baking under the unrelenting sun, while the other would freeze in perpetual night. Temperatures on the sunny side would soar to unbearable levels, while the dark side would turn into a frozen wasteland. In between these two extremes, we'd have a slim twilight zone, where temperatures might be bearable. Perhaps humanity would be forced to migrate endlessly to stay within this narrow strip, shuffling forward like a bizarre, planet-wide game of musical chairs. Say goodbye to weather as we know it. Our weather is largely driven by Earth's rotation, which helps distribute the heat from the sun around the planet. The spin creates the Coriolis effect, giving rise to trade winds, storms, and, well, pretty much all the weather we're used to. Without rotation, this effect disappears. Air would rush from the hot side to the cold side in relentless, unidirectional currents. Mega hurricanes could form along the line between the two sides. With winds we'd have no hope of ever surviving. Weather forecasts would be useless. The only guarantee would be wind, dust storms, and temperature extremes. Life on the new Earth, surviving on a non-spinning Earth, would require some creative adjustments. People might cluster around the narrow habitable zone, building underground shelters to escape both the scorching sun and frigid night. Agriculture, if it could still exist, would be transformed, perhaps moving into massive greenhouses, where artificial light and temperature controls replace sunlight and seasons. But the biggest question of all, could any of us even survive this change? The magma problem. Here's where things get even trickier. Earth's core is molten, and the spinning crust on top of it helps keep this magma in motion, creating Earth's magnetic field. This field is crucial for life, as it protects us from the sun's harmful radiation. Without it, solar winds would strip away our atmosphere over millions of years, leaving Earth as barren as Mars. Over time, Earth might lose its precious atmosphere and water, and the planet would slowly turn into a barren rock orbiting the sun. To put it bluntly, even if a few of us managed to survive the initial chaos, we'd still face a slow, harsh decline as Earth loses the qualities that make it livable. The cosmic dance of a stopped Earth. There's something oddly poetic about Earth's constant spin. Every sunrise and sunset, every season, every gentle breeze relies on this dance, this beautiful, unending rotation. Without it, the intricate balance of life and climate would collapse. Earth would become unrecognizable, no longer a vibrant, diverse world of blue oceans and green forests, but a desolate planet divided between a scorching desert and an icy wasteland. Conclusion: let's keep spinning. In the end, maybe it's a relief to know that Earth is unlikely to just stop out of the blue. The planet's rotation is stable, thanks to conservation of angular momentum. Over billions of years, it's slowing down slightly, but not enough for us to notice. So for now, we can sleep soundly knowing that our planet will keep spinning for eons to come. And the next time, the beach watching the waves or gazing at the stars, take a moment to appreciate the delicate spin of our planet. Because, as we've just explored, life as we know owes everything to that steady, comforting rotation. So let's give a quiet thank you to physics and keep on enjoying the ride.